Here's my do not draft tight end list for fantasy football.
That's cold. Welcome to Cold Tub Confessions. I'm your host, Brandon Deutsch.
I'm sipping the protein on every other tight end but these three guys at their ADP. And we'll start with Sam Laporta. Sounds crazy, right? Tight end 8 last season, going as the TE4 right now in fantasy football in round 5. Why? When you can get Travis Kelce in round 7, you can get Colston Loveland, Tyler Warren later. 2 high-end upside rookies. You could get Jake Ferguson later. You could get so many guys later or earlier if you want Trey McBride and Brock Bowers, but instead you'll take Sam Laporta. It just doesn't make sense without Ben Johnson. Same with TJ Hawkinson at his ADP. Now, I like TJ Hawkinson, but I'm a little nervous about JJ McCarthy. I'm nervous for the pass catchers. JJ has not played a real NFL game. Obviously, we'll see how he does in preseason, but even that, it's just preseason. He could throw 700,000 yards and zero interceptions and 47 touchdowns in preseason. I'd still want to see it in an actual NFL game. And then third, Dalton Kincaid. I know he's going late, but I'm telling you, I was in on him last year, and it screwed me. I don't trust any of these Bills players besides Josh Allen. That's the only guy I trust. Not even James Cook. James Cook's touchdown regression, it's going to go down. I mean, he had positive regression on touchdown last year, and then 2 years ago he didn't have touchdowns. Now it's going to regress to the mean a little bit. Josh Allen's the only Bill I trust. 32 grams of protein. These RBs don't have this season in fantasy football, okay? We're going to start with Saquon Barkley. Oh, call me crazy. I don't give a flying what you think. I look at history. I look at metrics. I don't care that he is the best offensive line of all time in human history. This is a guy who's missed a lot of time previously in his career. Already has a lot of strain on his body. He was healthy last year. All-time year. Excellent, right? Was top 10 in touches all time, and he played until February, okay? And this man literally... I'm telling you right now, I don't want him to get hurt, but if I had to make a guess, I don't think he plays 17 games. I don't think he plays 14 games, and I don't think he plays 12 games even. You look at history, the touch leader the following year always gets hurt. Always. It's almost inevitable. And if not, they miss a few games off a minor injury if they don't get seriously hurt. We saw with McCaffrey, no RB touch leader has finished as a top 13 running back even the last 6 years. So I'm out on Saquon Barkley at his ADP. If he's there in round 2, I'll take him. Take the risk, because why not? He's an RB1 in an elite offense, but I'm not taking him in round 1. Next, we go into Joe Mixon, and I love Joe Mixon. He's been the most underrated player in fantasy the last half decade, right? Consistent top 10 to top 15 RB finishes, steal every year, except this year. He's got a foot injury. It's a horrible offensive line. I'm taking Woody Marks and Nick Chubb before I take Joe Mixon in the 50s. I'm just not doing it, guys. Here's my do not draft fantasy football quarterback list. All right, we'll start at their ADP. Remember, average draft position, Bo Nix. Due for some regression. There's tape on him. He's going to be a sophomore. Same thing with Jayden Daniels, who I'll get into in a sec. But he's going in the 70s when you get Dak Prescott as QB 14. You get Caleb Williams as QB 15, Brock Purdy later. You could even get Geno Smith later, Justin Fields later. But no, we want to go Bo Nix. With who? Evan Ingram you added? And who are your wide receivers? Cortland Sutton, who's due for regression. Marvin Mims, who you're hoping to take a leap. Troy Franklin. I mean, Sean Payton hates him. He must have done something to him, because I think Franklin's great, but they never play him. Sean Payton obviously hates his guts. I don't know why. Maybe he said something about his wife. I have no idea. But for whatever reason, he does not play Troy Franklin. So I'm out on Bo Nix at his ADP, and the same goes for Jayden Daniels. He's going 31st overall. He didn't even finish as the top 4 QB. Baker finished ahead of him, by the way. We'll get to Baker in a second. But Jayden Daniels as the 3rd quarterback off the board when he's due for regression. Deebo Samuel's is wide receiver 1 right now. There's tape on him. Even if they sign Terry McLaurin, I don't love him to have as good of a season as he did his rookie year. And last but not least, Baker Mayfield. Again, this is at his average draft position. I don't hate Baker Mayfield, but he's not finishing as a QB4 again, okay? You're not taking him in the late 60s, early 70s. That's just a mistake to be made, and you'll be like the clown of your league if you're drafting any of these 3 players and they're your quarterback. You're like, oh, it's a great pick and round. No, go get playmakers. Go get running backs and wide receivers. Don't get a quarterback till late this year.